IDEA4RC Cancers, it's an ambitious project that is aimed at developing an ecosystem, a data ecosystem for rare cancers. Rare cancers are those that develop in very few patients. So we need data, we need to share data. So we really need to be clever in order to identify the best way forward legally, from the ethical point of view, from the technical point of view, to reuse the data. So what IDEA4RC Cancers is aiming to do is, across different hospitals, we are working with 11 hospitals across 9 different member states. We want basically to reuse the data that these hospitals routinely collect during their daily approach to the patient. We want to harmonize them and make sure that we can work for analyzing this data to basically try, to improve knowledge on rare cancer. We selected the centers intentionally across the centers of the European Reference Network on Rare Adult Solid Cancers, EURACAN, because to deal with rare cancers we need center of expertise, so that also the data with which we will work will be more standardized and of course will come from experts, so will be of higher quality. We identify different types of users. Of course, first of all, we have always in mind those that wants to retrieve and analyze the data. So we have in mind researchers. But we have in mind also doctors, because doctors, when they discuss within their multidisciplinary meeting, they might want to know how a similar patient, went, because this could help them, in taking maybe a decision for a very similar patient. But also patients themselves, sometimes have questions about, how cancers can be treated. So of course, looking at center of expertise data, we can answer to this type of question. And we are aiming also at targeting, and this is something we will do in the next months of the project, also competent authorities, just to understand, which are the different users. The main challenge is that data within the hospitals are available, but are available in different types of data sources. Some of them are already structured, so there are numbers that we can use. Others are in the text. So we discuss a lot also with the person within the hospital that usually deals with this data, that process this data to make them available, to the user. And that's why we started, to identify which are the different steps that in each hospital we have to take to harmonize this data in order to prepare them for the reuse from the user point of view. Our idea is that we don't want to use a centralized approach, because we know that this creates concerns with regards, to the privacy, to the accountability. So we decided to use a federated approach. What does this mean? It means that the data will remain in the hospital. We will develop a secure processing environment that we named IDEA4RC Cancers Capsule, where the data of the hospitals will be basically stored and processed by the person of the hospital. We identify some priority research questions, and we know that most of the research questions have to deal with the natural history of the disease, so how the cancers, progress, in which size, after how much time, which are, the predictive and prognostic factors, which is a treatment effectiveness, which is the quality of care. Everybody is interested also, in comparing a center with the other one to understand how also, we can improve the quality of care for rare cancers. So, accordingly to these main 4 objectives, we have identified really the information, so the variable that we need to utilize. And now we will try basically to get out from all the data of the hospital only the essential one that will be needed to answer to this question on rare cancers, which basically means on cancers in general.